Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
All right, happy Friday.
Hell
We
yeah.
got Cody from American Overdose with us tonight.
Yes.
Hopefully everybody's doing well. How are you doing, dude?
Hell yeah, doing great, man. It's Friday night. It's super hot here in Oregon, so it's like over 100 degrees. So I'm in my room, my living room. We got the AC blasting, so I'm good.
How hot is it in Oregon? I thought Oregon was like a little colder.
It's always raining, dude. So when we have sunshine, it's the Oregonians get dramatic and they're like, "Oh shit, gotta either be at the river, or at the beach, or inside." With AC blasting. So it's my dog's birthdays today. They're brothers, and so we went downtown Portland right after work. Hauled ass down there just to get them. There's this place a food cart that sells like doggy treats, doggy cakes, and like all sorts of just dog healthy stuff because Portland's really dog friendly everywhere.
Yeah.
And so we went and picked up some little cupcakes for them real quick. And I'm like, I got an interview I got to do, so I got to get back home ASAP. And so we made it downtown. I don't know how we did this, but we made it downtown during, traffic and everything in under an hour and back home. Like usually you'd be stuck in traffic for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever. But we made it back in an hour. But being out there, I'm like, I need to get inside back to the house and blast that AC. So
dude, it's like 103 degrees here right now. Like
isn't
right
it normal
now,
like that? Isn't it normally like that in South Carolina though?
Oh yeah. No, it's hot as shit. It's hot as shit.
Oh,
It's only 93
out there.
And I live like 7 minutes from the beach, so it's hot as hell.
No.
Oh yeah.
Lucky you. So we normally don't get sunshine. So this weekend we're supposed to get it's supposed to be over 100. It's gonna be in the hundreds all weekend long. So we're talking about maybe going to the beach tomorrow. But right now we're gonna go home and blast the AC and chill.
I hate it. So
normally it's rain. We're the state of rain. Like it's always raining here. Like it was raining all through June for the most part, and there was a couple days that were hot, but it was like it would rain while it was hot, and it'd get all sticky, muggy, and gross. And I love the sunshine. I love the heat, but I gotta be like in either like some water or pool, beach, or in
I mean, that's how we are here. We live in the damn pool or the beach. It's fucking constant. You're either out on the boat, you're in the pool, you're at the beach. One of the two or three. Yeah, one of three.
We were out in North Carolina, Virginia last September, and it was still hot out there in that area. Like we went to the Blue Ridge Festival.
Oh, Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Yeah, we went to that shit show, and
I heard.
Good God. That's all I gotta say is we got to enjoy like maybe 2-3 hours of it.
Yeah.
Because we were there on Friday, and after that, we left early just because we left before Slipknot played that night. They were the headliner, and I wanted to see them, but the shuttles that were driving the people from the concert to the parking lots, it was taking like 3.5, 4 hours just to get from one location to the other. Otherwise, you're walking like 7 miles. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, let's leave early because we're going to be stuck here. And then we still have, 2 more days to come out here to this festival. We're not going to get no sleep. And we ended up leaving early. And then next thing you know, next morning we found out that they canceled Saturday, and then hold off. We'll see what Sunday's going to look like. And then by 5 o'clock later that day, they canceled Sunday as well.
Y'all didn't play Blue Ridge, did you?
No, we entered in it and we were in the top 10 to be able to play it. And I'm glad we didn't win, dude, because I would have been so pissed driving from Portland all the way out there, and then for it to be a shit show and not get to play. I would have been so mad.
I heard it was bad. Like I heard it was really bad because I had friends that were out there, and I had friends in bands that were playing it, and they were like, dude, this was because I almost went. Like I was going to go up there and do media, and I'm glad that I decided not to. And I didn't do it because, like, I heard horror stories about the shit, like, the whole time.
It was so bad. It was super, super bad. We flew out. We took vacation time. We flew out there, got a hotel, rental car, all that shit. Bought, the tickets for the shuttles and paid for 3 days worth of tickets and all that shit. And, we wasted a lot of money and time and just energy on it. But I ended up disputing with my bank the charges for the tickets. So luckily I got that. And somehow by luck, the car rental company didn't charge us for the car rental. So,
okay. That's
Maybe
good.
they knew.
$5 right there.
At least you got that back.
Right?
Yeah. So, I learned our lesson never to go to a festival that's like, it looks too good to be true. Usually it is.
Yeah, that's true. So you guys have made this like huge fucking comeback, and I've seen you guys all over the goddamn place. And it made my heart so goddamn happy seeing y'all back.
Thanks,
because like I didn't think nothing of it. Like I was literally perusing Facebook one day, just looking down, and all of a sudden I seen y'all stuff popping up, and I was like, "Oh shit, are they back?"
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh fuck, hell yes!" So, what do you guys have going on right now that you could talk about?
So the things we got going on right now. So the new album, Artificial Infection, comes out next Friday, July 12th. It's going to be available on all streaming platforms. We have it, we go through CD Baby, so it goes out to every single major streaming platform out there. We have physical copies that people can buy on our website on AmericanOverdoseband.com. We released our video for our single Damaged in May. Revolver ended up actually sharing that. They did the premiere. And then we did Milwaukee Metal Fest in May as well. So we drove all the way out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We played Jamie Josta from Hatebreed's Milwaukee Metal Fest. And that was a blast.
Nice.
We're going to be playing Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin with bands like Shinedown, Jelly Roll, 311, Killswitch Engage, Seven Dust. Just a shit ton of bands, dude. Like, shit ton of bands. I'm really excited. It's our second time playing Rockfest. We played the one in 2018, and we got invited to play again. So we're going to be doing that July 19th.
Ooh,
so we decided to do a 2-week tour. So we'll be playing out in I should probably pull out the places that we're playing at so that way
Yeah, you might want to do that.
your viewers know if we're coming near their towns or not. So we're going to be playing in Lincoln, Nebraska, July 16th. July 17th, we play Springfield, Missouri. July 18th, we're playing in Joliet, Illinois.
Okay.
July 19th, we play Rockfest. And then we're going to be hanging out July 20th as well there just to, see the bands and meet people and promote.
Yeah.
Then we're playing July 21st in Topeka, Kansas. July 22nd in Denver, Colorado. July 23rd at Salt Lake City, Utah. July 24th, we're playing Las Vegas, Nevada. And then we come home. 2 weeks later, we're playing in Salem, Oregon, technically our hometown. We're doing a CD release party, even though our CD comes out like a month before.
Yeah.
We're doing a full CD release party in Salem with a bunch of friends, and excited for that, man. Right now, that's what we have going on. We released a music video for a song called Toxic. That's our latest single, so we've been pitching that out everywhere. You can see it on our YouTube channel. Today, we did a little skit promo video that we did, a skit with our manager.
Mhm.
So that's released today. You can find it. It's kind of like a parody. It's a 5-minute parody of us meeting with our manager and him just like ripping us a new asshole.
It's pretty funny. I saw it.
we grew up on South Park, Beavis and Butthead, Airheads,
Yeah.
Wayne's World, that kind of stuff. So we have that 90s humor, and we like to talk a lot of shit to each other and just push buttons. So
Of course. That's the best
That's
part
all
of it.
right.
My father and I have
It's
done
all right.
this forever.
hell yeah. So that's
Our
what we
our
got going on,
manager-
man. We got shows and we got new music, and once we get back, we're also gonna be filming probably another 2 music videos. We're doing our first Spanish track ever. Like I've always wanted to do a metal Mexican Spanish track, and we finally on this album we wrote one, and I was so nervous because I'm like, my Spanish is all right, it's pretty good, but it's not like the best. I grew up with my grandma, and she only spoke Spanish, so I had to learn Spanish, and so I always wanted to do a Spanish track for her and for my dad because my dad was a musician. And so we did one on this album, and we're going to do a video for it, and we're going to push it really heavily down in South America and Mexico and
Gotta
Spain.
hit Texas. I'm telling you right now.
What's
You're
that?
gonna love it in Texas. I ain't gonna lie. We have a big, big population of Hispanic people here. So,
Oh yeah, well,
man, I'm telling you, that sounds like an
another reason why I
amazing
love
idea.
Texas.
Yes.
Another reason why I love Texas. The Mexican people, man, they're great. I mean, you guys, Selena's from Texas, right? We were just watching
her bridge is
Selena
right down.
documentary.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
You may
So that's
come
what we
to
got going on
you may
right
come
now,
down
man.
here.
Music and videos and promoting and just playing some live shows finally and getting back out there and getting back to it. We got like I was telling you earlier before the show started, we got 2 new members that we've been playing with since November or December, and we're just having a great time right now. We're having fun, just relearning the songs, changing things here and there from the older ones, learning the new ones, and we're gonna get to writing again. So as soon as we get back, we'll also be writing new music. Hopefully in 2025, we'll release. I don't know if I want to do another album. I probably want to do like singles and an EP, like 5-song EPs, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Albums are a lot of work. This album that we put out, we had been working on it since 2017. Wrote a ton of music for it. And we ended up like starting over again once we took that big hiatus and basically started writing a whole new set of songs. And
See, that's what, because I've noticed so many bands here lately that have been doing like the EPs. And like even with my band, we were talking about doing the EP, and we were just going to do like a 5 or 6 song EP. And the next thing I know, my guitar's like, bro, we've wrote enough music to have like 15 songs. And I'm like, well, fuck it. We might as well write the damn whole album at this point. But with that, do you feel like the EPs are better now and just releasing the singles and stuff versus doing a full album?
The thing with doing a full album, I feel, is that people don't appreciate each song versus like, you can have 12, 13 great songs and you put them out there and you put them out at once, and people are so quick to listen to it and maybe listen to it once or they skip it or don't really put that much focus into it. And then they're like, all right, what's next? You know what I mean? So it's like they don't take the time to let the song grow on them, build an experience with it where it means something to them. Whereas if you put out a single, people take time to watch the video. You have a video for it. They hear it. You know, they'll blast it for a couple of weeks, or you know, just really learn the lyrics and you know, make that song their own. And then you know, a month later, 2 months later, you put out another single, and then you keep them interested and keep them coming back. I feel like that's the right way to go, especially with now how Spotify's algorithms are pushing artists to do that, because you have to release, in order to stay good in the algorithms, you have to release music every 60 to 90 days. That's why you see a lot of bands doing it now, the big and the small bands, is that you have to do that in order to stay in the good graces of the algorithm for Spotify. Spotify is what everybody is looking at. Like when you're booking a show, you know, they look at your numbers, like how many plays are you getting, you know, if you're looking for management or you're looking for anything, they're looking at your Spotify and they're taking a look and see, okay, do you have people that are listening to you? Where are they listening to you from? How are they getting the music? That kind of stuff. And it's always like, all right, get your numbers up, get your numbers up, get your numbers up. So I feel that putting out an album is great because, you know, now you have all this content you can put out, but I don't think people take the time to appreciate it. They might find one or two songs that stick with them, versus if you put out, you know, songs every 2 months, a new song every 2 months or so, people take time to listen to it because that's all you have out right now. And, you know, they learn the lyrics. Maybe the song reminds them of this or that, or they make it their own. Like I said, they make it their own. Because, you know, like back when, how old are you? How old are you guys?
I'm 47.
41.
41. So we're about the same age. We'd buy CDs. We'd go to we'd go to Sam Goody, or we'd go to Warehouse Music. You buy an album. You know, those albums costed some money. You know, you might not get an allowance, and so when you got an album, you better commit to it. And you know, if you just like one song, you better like the whole fucking album, because you're gonna be stuck with that for a while.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
A lot of the times you pick your albums by either the record label that they're coming out of or the cover. If the cover looks badass, you're like, I need to get that. I only know one song, but I'm hoping that the rest of it's going to be badass.
Oh, trust me. I could tell you countless CDs that I had that I listened to them so much, I wore them the fuck out.
Same here.
It was like, I don't know how many times I rebought Marilyn Manson's Antichrist Superstar.
Oh, hell yeah. I
probably bought 5 or 6 of them. Kill Switch Engage that had like End of Heartache and all that shit on there. There was 2 Mushroom Head albums that I had to rebuy fucking several times because I fucking listened the shit out of it. Fucking 9 Inch Nails Further Down the Spiral that had like Closer and Piggy and shit like that. And for some reason, the Spawn soundtrack, because I love that goddamn soundtrack.
I vaguely recall the soundtrack, but like, you know, with that said, you know, we appreciated our albums because, you know, it was an experience going to the store to get it. It was an experience in your car, blasting it, or in your room. You know, you didn't know when you were going to get your next album, and this is new. So you take the time to listen to songs. Now with everything being so just like streamed and everyone has easy access to it, everything's so disposable. So people don't take the time to, you know, listen to what is the artist saying or appreciate the actual music piece of it and whatnot. So that's kind of why I say, you know, I like it better to release a single and then let it grow on people. Let the people, you know, learn the lyrics, make that song their own, where, you know, I may have written it a certain way, but somebody else sees it in a whole different light. And I love when I hear people say, like, this was your song of blah, blah, blah reminds me of this, or, you know, is this what you were singing about? And I'm like, whoa, that's not anywhere close to what I was writing, but now I see it in a different light. I can see where you're taking it. So I think that's why I like doing the singles, because then people get tied to those songs, versus if I put out an album, people are like, oh, okay, this one's my favorite, that one's my favorite. Did you give this one a try? Yeah, I kind of passed through it.
Yeah. So I have a question then. So do you think with the style of how you guys put out music now compared to how it was back in the day when we were all just a little bit younger, do you think it has been better for music, or has it kind of hindered the whole kind of scene on what you guys are trying to do?
So I didn't do music in the 90s, unfortunately. You know, we're all young and whatnot. So I remember it was a struggle to try to record because back in the day when I was in bands in high school, we didn't have recording studios in our rooms. Like I have a recording studio upstairs now that I can record my music and my demos. Recording, you know, for my bands that I was in when I was younger, recording would be literally a microphone tied to like a boombox or something, and you playing really loud. All you hear is nothing but high pitched noise and all. It would sound like garbage, but you'd be happy. You're like, yes, this is what our band sounds like, and so you'd upload it to like mp3.com or whatnot, and then it sounds like complete shit. Like, so I can't imagine if I was doing this right now back then how hard that would be, because then you got to think about also. Those people were going out and having to post flyers everywhere. If they're going to a town, how do you find out who the promoter is in that town? How do you get interviews? You know, how do you find out who does interviews for Revolver, for, you know, all these different sources? So I think they had it a lot harder. But at the same time, they also didn't have as much competition because the people that were serious about their music were investing money in getting good recordings. Yeah. And so when they did get a good recording and they posted it, people would listen because, oh, we have this kick-ass recording and, you know, this band that's getting shared by Revolver. Now that everyone has access to recording at their house, anyone can get a good sounding recording, post it online. We're oversaturated with music. You can get the contact information for people from Revolver or their PRP or whatever on the internet. You know, you can, I think it's made musicians lazy too, like where they will rely on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatnot. They'll make one post about the show that they're playing, and then that's it. They don't put any effort into it. So it's got its ups and downs for sure. I would say. I try to embrace the things that people say like are negative. So like the streaming and the downloading and the pirating and all that. It is what it is. I listen to a lot of music podcasts, and one of the things I heard that I'm like, holy shit, that is so true, is that musicians are no longer selling music. They give away the music and they're selling t-shirts and merch. That's kind of what they've become. Like that's
about right. Yeah, I have to agree. It's sad, but it's true. I feel like even with like the albums and stuff like that, everybody's so easy just to do the whole swipe left or swipe right type of deal.
That's exactly what it is. And
yeah.
People put all this hard work into it. You know, you could be putting years into an album and then you put it out and then, you know, little Billy Bob down the street will stream it or pirate it and maybe listen to it once. And then he's on to the next. He's like, all right, when's your next album coming out? You know what I mean? I just try to embrace it because like with the whole AI thing too, like people are complaining, musicians are complaining about that. It's like, you can use it as an excuse to not want to play music anymore or why you're not able to get to the next level or whatnot, or you can take the technology and, you know, the shit that we have now and embrace it and do what you will with it and just go with the flow. Because there was a point in time when electric guitars were, you know, brand new and people were scared, like, what the hell is that? Like, you know, now they're normal, but there was a time when that was new and people were probably like, you know, like, hell no, I don't want to touch anything like that. An electric guitar, like,
true.
So it's one of those things where I just think you got to embrace it and just roll with it.
Makes sense.
I got you. So my next question on music videos, do you feel like they're worth it? Because I've heard a lot of bands try to say that it's not worth the money or the time doing music videos, where I disagree. I mean, you got YouTube. It's a great promotional, you know, source to get your stuff out there. But so many of them are like, well, there's no MTV, there's no VH1, that stuff doesn't exist anymore. So how do you feel about the whole climate of the music video now?
So if you look at our channel, we have a lot of music videos now. I'm a firm believer that music videos are very key to a band's success and they're needed. People can say all they want about MTV, like not being around and whatnot. But when you think about it, when MTV would get music videos, I'm sure they would get a ton of them and they would choose to play maybe a music video. If you're a metal band, they might play it once every couple of days, maybe once a week. Now you have a channel on YouTube where you literally have your own section of music or whatever you want to put on your videos. And it's up to you to make that channel popular. You promote that channel on all the different streaming platforms. I feel like it's key because people want a visual. They want to see what the band looks like. They want to feel connected to the band. Like, you're telling a story. I think one of the biggest things I see bands doing that I don't necessarily agree with is that a lot of the music videos are looking the same. So all it is a performance video. They're not putting much into like storytelling or whatnot. One of my favorite things, and when I was talking about this with my band members, that I want to do this, is remember in the 90s when you'd see a music video on MTV, the video had literally nothing to do whatsoever with what the song was about or what the band was doing. It'd just be some fucking random person maybe walking down an alley, and then all of a sudden they're like Alice in Wonderland or something, just some weird shit that was happening in a music video that had nothing to do with the song. I want to do something like that with our band. But I think people just need to be creative. You have something good, some ideas, put it together, put it in a video. Luckily, music videos don't cost as much as they used to. Like when I hear bands that were paying $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 in, production for a video, you don't necessarily need that. They are expensive, especially if you're an underground band, but they're a lot more affordable to do than they were back in the day. If you make good music videos that stand out, you tell good stories, they're good quality, and you just push and promote, it will get out there. They're worth it. It's a way for people to see that you're serious and that you have a visual, that there's something interesting about you that stands out. So something that I do is I constantly, and I do this, like, I know it may annoy some people, but if you look at the comments in our YouTube channel, I use Twitter, I use Instagram, I use TikTok, I use all those channels, and I have this message that I let people know, hey, I'll go randomly follow and add people that like follow bands that are similar to us, and I'll send them a personal message in their DMs, and I'll say, if you like bands like Slipknot, Mudvayne, Rob Zombie, blah, 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 check out American Overdose. Here's our brand new video. I'll provide the link of whatever video I'm promoting, which recently it's been Toxic. And dude, the feedback that I've been getting from that and the turnaround, the views that we get from that is incredible. And you can see it in the comments of our YouTube videos where people are like, I found you on X, I found you on TikTok when you sent me the DM and whatnot. It works. Yeah. It's just you have to put the work in, and you can't be lazy. You can't just rely on your own channel. Like if I go on my Twitter and just post, check out my video, American Overdose, blah, blah, blah. Only my followers may see that, and probably only about less than 1% is going to see that because of the algorithms.
Well, yeah. So that's what I tell everyone.
You have to go on there, and you have to go find people that are not even aware of who you are, and you need to promote. So like on TikTok, go follow a bunch of random people that follow, Slipknot or follow Mudvayne, and send them those DMs with those links, let the copy and paste that I do. And it works wonders, man. It really does work wonders. Providing people with information, because a lot of times people want to know, okay, sure, you're saying you're a metal band. There's like 100 different types of metal. Give me some examples of what you sound like, some bands that I may know. And then, if one of them piques my interest, I'll go check it out. And it's worked wonders for us. I believe that music videos are key and important. Not only that, touring is great, but if you can't tour or you can't get out there, because it is very, very, very expensive, if you have a music video and a kick-ass one, you can push that out. You can invest in PR, hire a PR company to push it out, to do premieres, and you can promote online constantly like that.
Well, see, that, and I tell people the story, like when bands talk about that, and like I also work for a management company part-time, and I tell people, look at the story of the Gorillaz, because the Gorillaz were only two dudes. That's it. And they did videos that told a story, and just the PR push on those alone made that band gigantic.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even really a fucking band, but they made it huge. And it's just all on how you push it and how you do it. Like you said, if you're going to be lazy, it's not going to do shit, but you've got to put in the fucking work. And I am, just like you, I'm a huge firm believer in the music videos, and I'm just hearing a lot of bands say, oh, we don't want to do that. It's not worth it. Let's not do it. Let's just tour. And I'm like, you have to have that promotional stuff. And now with the internet, you don't have to put out so much money into your band as you used to.
Yeah.
Like you can do this.
Well, touring alone is very, very expensive. We did 1 week, and we spent and this is not counting like all with food and everything, but just the bare essentials that we needed to just get out there. I don't know what the finances were for everybody else, but just like the bare essentials of renting a van, the U-Haul and whatnot, and hotels, it was about $9,000 for 1 week. Now, imagine if you take that $9,000, we only played 3 shows. If I took that $9,000 and invested it into Google ads or Facebook ads, that would have done way more of an impact for my band than investing on those 3 shows that we did. You know what I mean? It's just people need to put in the work. If you have a great recording, great video, telling a story or make it original, make it stand out, and then invest in Google ads and then target the right audience. Because that's another key thing that I'm learning with doing with now investing my money in Facebook ads and Google ads is and TikTok ads. You have to target the right audience. If you're targeting just a general population, just anyone that listens to heavy metal, your results may not be as good as if you find the bands that are similar to yours sound and target those people or the age groups as well. Right. We do better like when we are promoting. I know 45 and under, for whatever reason, our ads do a lot better. But it's putting in the work, man. That's literally what it is. I'm still a firm believer of handbills.
Yeah.
So right now, back in the day, you go to a show, everyone's handing out samplers of CDs or tapes or flyers of their shows. You don't see that anymore, right? You don't see that happen at all. I still do that. I will go out and I have like a QR code with our band picture. And if you like bands like blah, 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 check us out. It has our links and everything. After a show, like we went to Static X a couple of months ago. After the show, as people were walking out, me and my girlfriend and a friend of ours was handing out flyers to people as they were coming out. They were taking them because there was nobody else doing that. And who knows? Maybe some people are throwing them in the trash. Maybe some people are not looking at them. But now they are familiar with the name. Yeah. The QR code's right there. They can just scan it, and it'll literally take them to our link tree with all of our links and our information. But doing that kind of stuff right there, it does work. We've gotten a lot of fans in the past that have met us through us going to big shows, and as people are leaving the show, we're handing out flyers. But I don't ever see other bands doing that anymore. And right now, that's time to do it because not everyone's doing it. You're not seeing that. Now, if everyone's out there doing that, obviously people are like, no, get away. I don't want that. I don't want that. But now, you don't see someone doing that. People are like, oh, I'll take it. Sure. You're giving something out for free.
Yeah. So. And it's a nice kind of a souvenir-ish kind of thing for people that can't go out and buy all the big merch. Think about how many playbills people have hanging up in their rooms and, all that stuff. Hey, I went to this and I watched these guys and I got so-and-so to sign it. Sometimes, that just little thinking outside the box can get a band pretty far, I think.
100%. And you just got to find out, some things that worked back in the day that people aren't doing anymore, they will still work if you do them. The handbill things, I'm a firm believer of that. And, the fact that no one else is doing it anymore, it's like, well, that just lifts your advantage versus if everyone was doing it, people probably wouldn't want you to hand them something and they're going to just walk off and be like, nah, I don't want it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a quick
horns. We're always promoting.
Exactly. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. All right, and we are back.
All right.
So
Ready to
my
get
next
I was
next
running
question.
chicken wings because I'm like I'm smoking some chicken wings on the Traeger out there, so I'm like I got to make sure.
Hell yeah!
Don't burn the chicken wings. Don't burn them.
So my next question is, and this is I love this question. I love it so much. Through all of your touring, what is so far your favorite venue to play and why?
Oh shit, man. So for me, I thought that the Harpos in Detroit, Michigan was awesome because that's a legendary venue. A lot of big bands, Pantera played there, Slipknot, Mudvayne, like a lot of bands that I love played that venue, and I would remember seeing videos of it back in the day. The stage, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Harpos, but the stage is like super high up. Like people when they're watching up like this because it's just so high up. But the place is a shithole. It's like in the worst part of Detroit. It's it's moldy. Like you can smell it and all that. And the fireworks, huh? Still going off. They're still celebrating. That's how it was
you can
last
always
night for
start
us.
raising your thumb or something.
Ridiculous.
Right. It's a great background.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm like, really?
So I would say Harpos, Detroit, Michigan was a pretty cool, legendary venue. We played out in Cleveland at the Agora. That's another famous venue. Marilyn Manson. I guess Marilyn Manson lived down in the basement part of it and wrote part of Antichrist Superstar in there, some of it or some shit.
Yeah.
I would say those two stand out with Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood, California. We played that one back in 2010. I would say those three are my top three favorites I played just because they're so memorable.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. So, and I know I have to ask this one too because it's always a thing. What was the one defining moment that made you decide that you wanted to be a musician as a living?
When I saw Slipknot, I'll be honest with you. I saw Slipknot back when I was 14 years old at here in Portland. It was 2000, and it was the first concert I ever went to, like my first metal concert ever. It was Mudvayne, 1 Minute Silence, and Slipknot was, and it's the club that they played is a 1,200 capacity little venue. So I saw them live, and I was just like, holy shit! Like the energy of the crowd, the sound, the energy of the band, the crowd. Excuse me. All of that, man. Just Trey Bryan, yes, Slipknot. So Slipknot was the band that made me realize, like, dude, I need to be an entertainer. Prior to that, I had been doing vocals, like singing along with Korn, Marilyn Manson, Slipknot, Pantera, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had never been to a live concert ever before. And so when I went and saw Slipknot, 14 years old, and in a small club, I was like, all right, I gotta start a band. I gotta do music. I want to be a frontman. It actually made me want to pick up a guitar too. So I started teaching myself tabs on my dad's acoustic guitar. But after that, I was like, I'm going to do music. I don't care if it's for a living or if it's for a hobby or for what. I'm going to do music, and the rest was history.
Okay. Sounds good. That sounds good. All right. We're going to get into the interesting shit now.
Oh.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was just eating pizza right now. As a matter of fact, I forgot that I was going to put pineapple on it. But yeah, dude, fucking, I love pineapple. Like last week I made a barbecue chicken pizza, but we put barbecue chicken on it, and jalapenos and red onions and bacon on it.
Hell yeah.
Put that on there as well, and it blends really well together.
Oh yeah, the sweetness with the spice of the jalapeno, man. I love to cook, so I'm a foodie. I cook at home a lot, and I just you can get me talking about food, and I'll talk for hours.
Right?
That's a good thing because we're going to bring you. We actually have a new podcast that's coming out. It's called Taste of Rock and Roll, and we're going to get rock musicians to cook and go on there and talk about like fucking shit that they've had on the road, what was shit, what was good,
Oh yeah,
like the whole 9 yards. So, what is the best place that you've ever eaten on the road?
Oh, you're gonna ask me that?
Yeah.
Well, the most memorable spot that always comes to mind, I was just talking about this yesterday actually with my girlfriend, is Caesar's Palace in Vegas. The buffet there, dude.
Been there. Had
The
it.
buffet there, you cannot top the buffet. Like they keep raising the prices. I keep paying the prices they raise it to because
It's worth it.
It's worth it. You got your seafood, you got your Italian food, you got your Asian food, you got your Mexican food, you have your American food, you have everything. And I'm just like, I go there and I pig the hell out. I love buffets. I'm a huge fan of buffets. So I would say that is number one, but I just love California for their food. Like Southern California has, the best Mexican food hands down that you're going to find anywhere. I don't have a specific spot down there, but there's sandwich spots, there's Mexican joints, taco trucks. We here in Portland, we're really well known for our food trucks. They're like everywhere, everywhere. And so we're lucky in that sense that, if I want some sort of type of food, and she wants something different, we can go to a food truck area and, she can grab whatever she wants. I can grab whatever I want and just sit down, and they have like a common area. And a lot of them are doing live music now too. Where they have like people playing acoustic or cover bands or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
We actually have a really dope place here in the island that I work on, Hilton Head Island. They got this place called The Bank. So it's like, so it's like right in the middle. It's nothing but like lots of picnic tables and shit. They've got like cornhole boards out. There's big screens up. They put sports events up on. There's a fucking stage for bands to play. But like you have your option of like fucking pizza, tacos, ice cream. There's a brewery. There's a distillery. There's all kinds of shit all in like one fucking building. It's like a damn food mall.
Hell
and you
yeah.
just walk in there, get your food, walk out, and like do whatever you want. Play games, listen to the band, watch fucking sports, whatever the hell you're into. It's literally there, and it's like the dopest shit I've ever seen. I was like, this is cool as shit. Like, this was a great idea.
That sounds like my kind of place.
They should make a food mall. Somebody should make a food mall.
They need to. And then have like little samplers. Like, you know what I do at the mall? Like a lot of times I will walk around and I'll act like I'm going to buy something, but I'm like, and then they offer the free sample. I'm like, I'll try that. I'll be back. And then I go back and I go around.
Get some from each one. You'll have a full meal.
Exactly. I was going to say, you brought up pizza. So New York City has the absolute best pizza, hands down, that I've ever had in my life. I've only been to New York City one time, and we were out there for media and press, and we ate so much pizza out there. But it was like, when people talked about how great their pizza was, I was like, oh, whatever, pizza's pizza. Yeah. No, it's not. When you're in New York City, I don't know if it's in the water or what it is, they have the absolute best pizza you're going to find anywhere. And I was, oh my God, I even brought some back home with me on the airplane, the 7.5 hour flight back home. I'm like, there was the pizza box. And,
you're like, I'm not letting it go.
No, not letting it go. So I would say that the Caesar's Palace in Vegas. But I cook a lot at home, so a lot of the times, like, I'll look up copycat recipes and then I will make them my own. Like, if I'm craving something, I love to cook, and I love watching a lot of like just cooking TV shows and YouTube videos. And what I'll do a lot of the times, like with Mexican food that I grew up eating that my grandma used to make and whatnot, I'll search on YouTube a couple of different ways of how people made them or make them, and then I'll look for the consistent recipes, the consistencies that they have, and then if something sounds interesting to add to it, I'll try that, and then I'll throw in my own little flair of ideas of whatever I've learned from cooking. So that's what I love about cooking. I don't bake because baking's more like you have to be precise and all that shit. And
Yeah.
I like to not measure and all that shit. My girlfriend's good at the baking. I do the cooking. So
Vegas was one of my favorite places, like other than like Mexican food, because I actually went to one place. Like I've been to Vegas a million times on tour and doing events and shit like that. Vegas was always so fucking good. Like from Caesar's Palace to like, you know, I've been to Hell's Kitchen. I've been to I've had Gordon Ramsay's like fish and chips and all that shit.
The burger place.
I have.
Dude, I paid $25 for fries.
Yes.
It was $25 for fries. Like they gave you the burger. The burger was like $35-$40, and then if you want to add fries, it was like 20. I was like $25 for fries. Whatever, I'll do it. I did it, but I wasn't happy about it.
So like I went out there, but like I kept asking locals. I'm like, what's the best place to like have Mexican food? Because I love anything that's spicy. Anything. That's my shit. So yeah, me and my wife both fucking everything spicy. So they're like, you have to go to this. Then. I'm down. So they tell us about this Mexican place, right? So I go, and I was so fucking let down because that shit was so like fucking white people. Like it was bland as fuck. Like it was just like white rice. There was no like spice or yes, it was terrible. It was so bad.
So there's a place out there. They have 3 different locations in Vegas. It's called Tacos El Gordo or Tacos El Gordo.
Okay.
Gordo the Tacos. But there's 3 different locations. The one that's on the main strip over by the Stratosphere, or maybe it's on the opposite end of the Stratosphere. That place is really legit. It's like a standard taqueria. It's got, you know, it's weird how they have it separated, but they have the cooks behind the table or these sections of the kitchen. But if you want carnitas, you go on this line. If you want carne asada, it's on this line. You have to go in separate lines to get like different types of foods and what have you. That place is legit. I would recommend it. My thing with food is I always look on Yelp, and I don't rely on the fake advertisements that a lot of the restaurants like to put on there. They'll put on the little pictures. I don't follow that. If I see that, I'm like, the food's probably not very good. But what I'll do is I'll look and see like when customers have posted their own pictures of the food, and if it looks good, I'll give it a shot. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll go try this, and that's usually how I pick my restaurants that I want to go check out. I have the Yelp app and I just look it up.
I don't blame you.
So what's the worst place you've ever ate on tour?
Well, I mean, Muchas Gracias is not very good, but I will do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't mind it. Honestly, at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're tired as shit, you're hungry, you got makeup smeared down your face, and you're all sweaty and just like you're ready for bed, but you're like, I got to eat before I sleep. Muchas Gracias, honestly, is like, they have different names. Rigoberto's, they have Berto's, they have Muchas Gracias. They have like all sorts of names. It's all the same people, though, pretty much, I think, that own it.
Filiberto's in Arizona, let me tell you, at like 1 o'clock in the damn morning when you're drunk as shit. That has the best damn burrito ever.
Yep. We were in Idaho last month, and I ordered what normally is like, they call it the Oregon burrito, but I guess every state has their own version of it. So I ordered what normally would be an Oregon burrito, and the burritos are usually pretty big. They're like this size usually here. I ordered in Idaho, and it's like this. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I couldn't eat it all. I'm like, normally I'll step up to the challenge for food. Like if I see something, I'm like, I'll finish it. I couldn't even. I had like a huge chunk of it left, and I'm like, all right, I'm leaving it. I'm too tired, and I need to get to bed, and I'm so stuffed. Yeah. But I would say that's the worst, but at the same time, it's also the best because once you get there, you're just like, yes. Gas station food, man. We ate a lot of gas station. We eat a lot of gas station food. No. This last time we went on a
gas
run.
Station sushi?
What's that?
Do you
sushi?
Eat gas?
Hell no. I know better than that.
All right.
But the pizzas, the hot dogs, the nachos, that kind of stuff, or the snacky stuff. Usually, I'll hit that up.
Okay. As long as it's not sushi,
I don't even touch the sushi. To be honest, I don't even touch the sushi at buffets. I just don't know how long it's been sitting there.
I usually don't either, but the one that is close to me, I do because they do it right in front of you. Like they're making it the whole time and you're seeing it being made. So I believe me, I didn't even do it the first couple times I went to the restaurant because I'm like watching them like a hawk, right? Because I'm like, I'm not getting sick.
I want that fresh.
I watched them for a while and I was really surprised because they also do they do the grill and they can put all the stuff on the grill too. So you can either do sushi and buffet, or you can do the grill and sushi. It just kind of all depends on what you want.
Hell yeah, that sounds good. Waffle House is another one that's not a very good place to go, but it's cheap and it's great, and you're gonna see some shit. Anytime you go to a Waffle House at nighttime, you're gonna see some crazy shit and some crazy motherfuckers. Like every single time, guaranteed.
I've seen full on brawls. And
same here, man. Same here.
We have security guards at our places here.
I believe it.
All right, so my next one is, what is the craziest interaction that you've had with a fan?
I mean, we've signed a lot of weird shit, but I would say at Rockfest, when we played Rockfest in 2018, I was just telling the story the other day to one of my buddies. This guy, after we got done playing, he wanted to buy my stage shirt from me. And I'm like, dude, I need this. We still have a bunch of shows that we're playing. I'm like, this is what I wear on stage. I'm not selling it. Yeah. He's like, dude, I will give you $500. He's like handing me like $500 like in hand. I'm like, no, I'm not selling it. It's not for sale. He's like $600, $700. He ended up getting to like $900 or $1,000. And I was just like, dude, I am not selling you my shirt. I'm telling you right now, no amount of money. I need this for the road. Like, I can't. Like, I would say that was kind of weird. I would say that's probably the weirdest one, just because it always stands out and it always seems to be brought up sometimes with stories.
At least bring you another shirt to wear.
What's that?
At least bring you another shirt to wear.
Yeah, well, this one was custom made, so like I was more worried about like if the guy was gonna be able to make me another shirt, because he put a lot of time into it and all that shit. And I was like, I got to use this for the rest of the tour. I don't want to like be wearing some regular plain shirt on stage and with a mask, it'll look goofy. And I would say that's probably the weirdest thing that a fan has done. Now, I've seen a lot of weird shit, like where we've had guns pulled on us and shit like that. Like, actually in Texas, we had a pimp pull out a gun on us in Fort Worth at a hotel. That was kind of that was scary. Yeah. Long story short, we had just got done playing. We were on the Mushroom Head tour, and we stayed at a hotel in Fort Worth. And it was late at night when we got into the hotel. And the girl that gave us the keys to the door, she gave us directions. It was one of those hotels that's kind of like a motel, like where the entrance is on the outside, like the doors are out, like it's not a hallway or anything like that. So she gave us directions on where our hotel rooms were at. So we go over there, and we're like swiping the key. Nothing's opening. So we're like jingling on the handle, and we're just like trying to like push the door to see if maybe it was jammed. And nothing was happening. The guy next door comes out to smoke a cigarette, and he's like, do you guys have problems with your hotel room, or what's going on? Like, he's like, I see you guys are struggling to get in. I'm like, yeah, the card's not working or anything. I'm not sure what the hell's up with it. We tell him, and he's like, the girl probably didn't get the magnet to work or get you the correct key. He's like, you might want to, go back down there. She's newer, and we've been having issues with her anytime we stay here. I'm like, oh, that's great. All right, fine, whatever. So we go, and she ended up giving us the wrong directions, because there was the way the hotels were set up, like there was room 250s or whatever, but one was like on one side of the parking lot, the other one was on the other side, and she gave us the wrong directions. So my other guitar player and the bass player, my old guitar player and bass player, were getting their stuff together before we got up there. And they went back to that room that they thought was the one that we were supposed to be in. And they're like trying to get in. They thought that we were in there. We were not in there. A pimp comes out of there and starts flipping out on them and goes off on them about how he, that's his room, and he's got girls working there, and they're costing him money. They scared the girls off, and all sorts of shit, I guess. And he kept them up for like 3 hours, like just harassing him and talking shit to him and like making threats. And, the next morning, as we're about to leave, the guy was waiting right by the van because he knew which vehicle was ours, because he knew that we were in a band and we had a U-Haul and all sorts of shit. And he comes out there and he starts telling us, he's like, you scared off some girls of mine. You cost me a lot of money. Like, now I need to know what you guys are gonna pay me, you know, for my time and all this shit. He was like trying to like extort us and take money from us and shit. And we're like, and this whole time, dude, I'm like, I had like $4,000 cash on me from selling merch that night, the night before. So I'm like, shit, this guy's gonna rob us and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna do? He showed us his gun. He said he wasn't playing and all sorts of shit. My drummer offers him a half-eaten sandwich, and he's like, dude, we're struggling musicians. We don't have any money. He's like, we have a sandwich. The guy's like, I don't want your fucking sandwich. And he starts rambling off about how lucky we are that he's not going to kill us and that we need to get the fuck out of there and that they don't fuck around in Fort Worth and this and that. Eventually ended up leaving us alone. We drove out of there and we're like, all right, we'll never make that mistake again.
That
was pretty scary. That was pretty scary. So I always remember that.
Right.
So now that we're getting towards the end, where do you want everybody to go to find your music, to interact with you guys? Like, where do you want them to go?
Well, find us wherever your preferred channel of choice is, I would say, because we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on X, Twitter, we're on Facebook. We are on, you know, if you use Reverb Nation, if you use what else is there out there? There's so many shit. AmericanOverdoseBand.com is probably the best source because then you can find all of the links to everything that we have. We're on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. We have a lot of music videos, like I mentioned, on there. We also have a link tree. So if you look up American Overdose, you can find all of our links along with our shows, how to book us, all of that stuff. So we push the link tree a lot because that just literally has everything in one page. It'll get you right to where you want to or where you want to see us at.
Fantastic.
And if we're coming to a city near you on this run of shows that I mentioned earlier, I will say we're worth a 3, 4, 5 hour drive because I don't know when we'll be out in the Midwest again. So if we're coming anywhere close to you, make the drive, come out there, come hang out with us. At our shows, we always make sure to stick around by the merch and meet people, take pictures, and we want to build memories with the people that come and support us. And it's not like one of those where, you know, a lot of times the bands don't get to meet the fans or the fans don't get to meet the bands, whatever. Yeah. We make it a point to be out there hanging out and whatnot. So come see us if we're coming to a city near you.
Excellent. All right, y'all, we're out of here. We love you guys. We'll be back next fucking Friday with somebody else. Go check out American Overdose. Go check out their music. Go buy their stuff. Their new album's coming out soon. We love you guys. Good night.